You need one?
Hello everybody, welcome to this live. We're going to be, as you can see, we've got some carrots here, we've got a jar, there's this bit. Now have a look at this. If you don't know what this is, then you're about to learn. This is going to be very interesting. We've got Joanna today. Say hello.
Hello.
She's very uncomfortable, so as you guys join, say hello and make her feel very welcome. Because I know it takes her a lot of courage to come on and do this, so let her know that you appreciate her bravery. So today we're going to be creating an anaerobic fermentation of some carrots, organic carrots. These have just been washed and we haven't even peeled them, we haven't chopped them. We're going to show you how to do everything. So we're going to do all of that. We're going to show you how to do the salt. We're going to basically walk you through everything. Before we get started, I'm going to open the live so that if you have any questions for me or for Joanna, you can ask us. She's going to be my designated question reader today, so I'll make sure I won't miss any. And I'm going to share this into some groups as well because... Okay, you're doing that. We're also going to talk a little bit about the histamine intolerance and mast cell activation syndrome course that I've just launched. And it's been, I've talked to some admins of some histamine intolerance groups and things like that, and they've said that if this is really going to be helpful, they really want me to share it in their groups as well. So I'm just gonna share it into some groups. So I just need to find the live first. Okay, got it. Great. Lawrence says hola, and he said it right as well. He spelled it right in the right Portuguese way. So hey Lawrence, hope you're doing great, man. I've got something interesting. Well, just before you start sharing it, can you tell everybody what your experience with this course has been like so far? Because nobody sees what Joanna's doing on the back end. Because I stand in front of the camera and I'm like, oh, look at me, and I'm talking about all the things. But Joanna builds, like, the whole academy has been built by Joanna, single-handedly by Joanna. So, could you tell everybody a little bit about it? While I do some sharing as well.
It's quite hard to explain, but I will try. So, every page that you guys see when you just click in the link, it's designed by me. And all the steps, all the thinking, the techniques, if you can say it like that, it's all designed by me. So all the videos that Billy does and ideas, they are basically
Keep talking now. I'll start chopping.
Brought to life, is it true to say?
Yeah, sort of.
I give the birth to your ideas.
Yeah.
It's like that.
We'll stick with that for the time being.
So it's quite funny.
Are you enjoying it? Is it fun?
I enjoy, but this launch was very smooth. So I had a lot of time to manage everything. The first one was very complicated. I went through a lot of stress and I lost some sleep.
Yeah, a little bit. That was awful, wasn't it? The reaction the next day. Don't miss out on your sleep, guys. It's important.
So yeah, that's it.
That's it. So do you want to start chopping and I'll continue?
I think
That's
so.
a bit of a nasty bit, so don't use that. So all I've done so far is I'm just basically chopping the carrots up. Like you can pretty much see. So we're basically just chopping them up. With most fermented vegetables, so you want to keep them about the same size, yeah? You want to do them as small as possible, so they ferment quickly. So things like sauerkraut, or say you're doing like onions, garlic, you want them to be really small. But the thing with carrots is they have quite a lot of sugar in them. So if you chop them too small, they ferment too quickly, and there's too much sugar, and it creates an environment that yeast really like. So you can find it doesn't really, the fermentation doesn't take hold properly, and it kind of goes moldy or goes yeasty, and it's not very nice. So we're cutting them bigger so that we slow the fermentation process down. What we're doing now, we're using this technique. Oh, there's a little bad bit there as well, cut that bit off. Yeah. So we're using this technique. This is a technique that I discuss in the course. So the course is really designed to help you understand that histamine intolerance and mast cell activation syndrome are actually solvable problems. These aren't problems that you have to be stuck with for your whole life. There's... Yeah, you can put them straight in. There's a physiological problem going on, And with the right approach, we can resolve it. It's not a life sentence. And this is one of the key steps in resolving this issue, because ultimately it comes down to a problem of the microbiome and the structure and the integrity of the gut lining. So you kind of like leaky gut kind of situation. And it's really difficult to sort these problems out without getting the right kind of microbes in the gut.
It's important for you to say that they are washed already.
Okay, these are already washed, by the way. But we did leave the skins on, because remember, we're fermenting them, so we wanted some of the bacteria on there still. But we didn't want like the dirt, because it can be kind of gritty. Where was I? You jogged my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
You really threw me there. So, in essence, yeah, it's a solvable problem, but we need to take the right approach to solve it. And restoring the microbiome and healing the gut lining is literally what we need to do. But everybody's like, oh, I need to drink broth and I need to do fermented foods and I can't do these things, these really gut healing things, because I have histamine intolerance. Well, when we use the right approach, like here, we're still going to be able to use fermented foods, but we ferment them in the right way, we can reduce the amount of histamine that's in them by about 10 times compared to a regular fermentation process. And the way that we do this is we're using an anaerobic environment. So we're going to get all of these pieces of carrots loaded up into this jar, and we're going to use an airlock. So this is the airlock here. It nearly escaped, but it didn't quite. Remember, this is live. I'm sure you know it's live, but I've got your questions open. Look, I can see you here. I can see who's watching, and I can see you're here. So say hello, and give us your questions. I really want this to be helpful for you. So this is an airlock. You basically put this, so it's like this. You put this little bit on top here, and you're going to put a little bit of water in here, and it's going to make it so that the air can only escape from the jar and not enter the jar. So as the fermentation process happens, if you've ever fermented anything before, you'll know that it produces lots of gas and gets bubbly. And that's part of the fermentation process. And it's going to push all of the oxygen out of the vessel, which creates an anaerobic environment because there's no oxygen present. Anaerobic is essentially any process that happens out of the presence of oxygen. So there's no oxygen there. So you can move that over now. So by removing the oxygen, we change how the bacteria go through their fermentation process. We change which organisms can survive and which organisms can't. And so this just brings me off to a sort of a little tangent. This is one reason stool tests aren't great. It's because as soon as you've extracted the stool and you test it, it's exposed to the oxygen in the air, which is going to give you a completely different. We've got some questions. Cool. It's going to give you a completely different picture than what's actually going on. The same is true here. When we ferment these anaerobically, there's going to be a completely different microbiome composition in this jar, which is going to reduce the amount of histamine that's produced. And we need to consume it in a specific time period. The best time period for doing it this way is between 21 and 23 days. So we're going to set all of this up, we're going to get it fermenting, and then we leave it for about 3 weeks, between 3 weeks and 3 weeks and 2 days. And during the fermentation period, we have different levels of bugs rise and fall depending on, so we're going to start the fermentation, there's going to be bugs that like the fructose, sugar from the carrots. So they increase in numbers really rapidly. But as the fructose decreases, those bacterial numbers come down. And instead what happens is organisms that like to eat the metabolites that were produced during that initial fermentation phase begin to raise. So we get like this kind of thing that's happening with the histamine. So it's going to go up a little bit, and then it's going to go down a little bit, then it's going to go up a little bit, and then it's going to go down a little bit, then it goes up again, and then it reaches its lowest point at about day 21, day 23. So we're going to, even with histamine intolerance, you're going to find these way more tolerable.
Okay, so we have some questions.
Okay.
Can I read?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian is asking, can we eat fermented foods if we have candida yeast issues?
So it's anything that's involving different types of probiotic organisms is tricky because you need to make sure that you have the 5 pillars established. So the 5 pillars, I'm sure half of you already are aware, but for half of you that aren't, they're the fundamental features of the gut. They're the core infrastructure that makes the gut function properly. So these things are stomach acid, I want to get them in the right order, stomach acid, digestive enzymes, bile, motility, and mucosa. So if any of these pillars are off, taking any kinds of fermented foods can predispose you to things like overgrowth, which is obviously a bad thing. And then you're going to have a tendency to want to go and take antibiotics and things like that, or antifungals, which is going to do more harm than good. So yes, these things are essential. You can't really get on top of fungal problems without using probiotics, because it's all about the dysbiosis and the imbalance. Yeast doesn't just overgrow by itself. It overgrows because there's a lack of other organisms keeping them in balance in the gut. So we need to restore those organisms, but we also have to do it strategically. We have to do it in a way that's where we're supporting the microbiome, but we need to support these primary functions that keep the gut healthy in the first place. Like, a good example is, think about kefir. So if you want to keep doing this, you can I guess we need to walk people through that as well. So yeah, a bit of a tangent, but I think you want to know this. So when we're talking about like eating kefir and things like that, a healthy person could drink 2 or 3 cups of kefir and they'll feel fine. In fact, they might feel amazing, they'll feel better. And the reason that they don't get overgrowth, even though they've eaten like a quadrillion different bacteria, is because these 5 pillars are intact and the gut's functioning properly. But say you introduce loads of bacteria to somebody that doesn't have these things functioning properly. They've got no stomach acid, they don't have enough bile, so they've got like a slow transit, or their motility is messed up, so the transit's even slower. They've got intestinal permeability, and they don't have enough enzymes, so they don't break their food down quickly. Well, this food sits around, and these organisms get the opportunity to move in where we don't want them to. So we need to make sure that we've established a good strong 5-pillar structure before we can do it. But they play on each other. The 5 pillars are supported by a healthy microbiome. So we have to sort of do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and sort of mix them about.
There is more 2 questions.
Okay. We'll do one more, then we'll start doing this bit.
Liz is asking, is this good for SIBO too?
That kind of fits in with the first question, really, doesn't it? So with SIBO, yes. The thing about SIBO is you have this thought of overgrowth. So you'll feel like, oh, I need to kill it. But more often than not, it's a case of imbalance. The thing that's overgrown has only overgrown because the other things that keep it in balance aren't there. And the natural cleansing mechanisms of the gut have been disabled. So low stomach acid or weak motility or whatever it is. You're never going to be able to get on top of these issues. And this is why people who have SIBO and they take antibiotics and then they do the herbal route and see if that works. It never works. It always comes back because we still haven't addressed the underlying issue, which is these 5 pillars. So we need to figure out why one of these 5 pillars has collapsed and support it and make sure they're all strong. And encourage the microbiome to rebalance itself as well.
One more question?
No, let's do a little bit of this and then we'll go to the next question, okay? So what we're going to do now is what we want to do is get a 2% brine. So 2% brine basically means that for every 100 millilitres of water we use, it's open. So we're just using bottled water today. For every 100 millilitres of this we use, we want to use 2 grams of salt. It's very important the kind of salt that you're using and the kind of water that you're using. Bottled water is probably the most available option, so bottled water is fine. You do not want to use tap water because it's got chlorine in it and it's got fluoride in it, and both of those are going to mess around with this fermentation process. And same with salt. You don't want to use refined table salt, you don't want to use iodized salt, you want to use something really like that you find in nature. So this is literally just sea salt, so that's just salt, that means salt, sal means salt, right? And marino means sea. So this is sea salt. So we're just using that. You can use rock salt, you can use pink salt, you can use like the black salt. Just make sure that you can find it in nature. Anything like that will be fine. So you don't have to be like a scientist to do this. You just have to think, okay, well, how many milliliters am I going to need to put in there? This is what, 1.5? We'll probably use half the bottle, right?
Yeah.
So we'll put about half the bottle in and then we'll calculate sort of how much it's going to be salt-wise. And then we can just use a spoon to vaguely measure it. So a teaspoon would be good, I think. Or maybe we should mix it up before we put it in. You think? So then we get a better distribution in there. So we'll mix it up in a different, like in that saucepan or something. Yep. The big one, yeah. No. Awesome. So, this is clean, by the way. When you're doing fermentation, you need to make sure everything's clean because you're setting up an environment where organisms are going to be fermenting. The ones that we want to be fermenting this are present on the surface of these carrots already. So we don't need to add anything. We just need to make sure that we don't put pathogens and stuff. So like wash your hands, make sure that everything you're using is pretty clean. So this is 1.5 litres. I'm going to pour half of this in here. So it's going to be probably about 700 millilitres, maybe 800. We'll go for a little bit more than half. So this is what you see. You might hear like, oh, I'm going to do an anaerobic ferment, and you might think, oh, that sounds a bit scary. Like, what does that even mean? Well, you see, like, we're not even measuring stuff, and it's going to be fine. I think a teaspoon would be a better idea, if you've got one. Yeah, teaspoon, cool. So a teaspoon, a heaped teaspoon is usually 3 grams. And this is the thing, it's not science. All salt is going to vary in its weight based on how much moisture is in it. If you use something like, we've got some Malden sea salt, we really like that. It's, in my opinion, the best salt you can get. It's really, really moist and it's really wet, so you probably get half the amount of salt in the same teaspoon as you would for this kind of salt. So 2 grams, you do have to do a little bit of maths. So how do we do this? So it's 800 millilitres. So we need to do 2 grams times by 800. So we need 16 grams. 1 heaped teaspoon is about 3 grams. So we need about 15 1/3 grams. That was just some maths off the top of my head. That sounds like a lot. So we need 5 1/3 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to be honest, I always like to go a little bit over, so I'm going to do a little bit more. I find going over is better than going under, because if you go a little bit over, it's just going to taste a little bit saltier. But if you go under, it can sort of it can ruin the ferment, and then you kind of waste like this whole effort and all your carrots and your produce. So do you want to give that a stir for me? You give that a stir for me, and I'll go to the next question. Do you want to read it for me? Yeah. Did we miss one? Was there one up there?
No.
Okay.
Rome is asking, so a 21-day ferment is lower in histamine than a 5-day ferment will be?
Yeah, exactly. 21 to 23 days is the optimal range for the lowest amount of histamine. It does vary a little bit between every single thing, so it depends what you're fermenting. It depends how warm the temperature is that the fermentation is happening. And that's why there's a bit of a variance between about 21 and 23 days. So it's going to be different for everybody, but this is like the ultimate point. Like I said, it goes up and down and up and down and up, and then it goes really down at that key point. So this is why if you've done fermentation before at like maybe 5, 10 days, maybe sometimes you're okay with it and maybe sometimes you're not. And that's because the histamine levels in it are going like this. But it gets the lowest between 21 and 23, so that's the best time to do it, and that's why we're doing it here. Any more questions then? No. Okay. Great. So you're getting that dissolved. So we just need to stir it until it's completely dissolved. You need to make sure that all of the salt is dissolved in the water. And because it's a 2% brine, it's not too hard to get it all dissolved. I mean, this water is quite cold, so it might take a little bit of elbow grease. But yeah, it's pretty much dissolved now. Great. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the course. So with the course, I decided that I wanted to give the first class away completely for free. So if you like the stuff that I'm talking about here and it sounds interesting and you want to learn more about histamine intolerance and how we actually resolve it as it's a solvable problem, how we can actually fix it, you can check the first class in the course out 100% for free. I wanted to give the first class away for free. So it comes down to three reasons really. Firstly, it saves me a lot of time. I don't have to keep telling everybody all of these things all of the time. Like, I know these things, now I've got a source that I can just say, go and look at this, and it'll give you the answers. Secondly, it shows you that I really care. Like, I'm really trying to change the world here. Like, I've struggled with these things before. Yeah, just pour that in. So I know what histamine intolerance is like. I've had the awful symptoms. For me, it was extreme stabbing pains in my eyes and insomnia. See, look how perfectly we got that. We've got it so that it's just over the calories. We might want to do a little tiny bit more. So I'll put a little tiny bit more. And you have to remember how much you're putting in, and you have to add that much extra salt. So we'll probably put maybe 100 millilitres. So that's another, put like half a teaspoon. So I've had all of those symptoms, I know what it's like, and the thing is, I don't think you even really need to stir it. Yeah, you can. The thing is, if you use the right approach, you can get relief from histamine symptoms in literally 3 to 5 days, even shorter. It could literally happen overnight. And like these are things that I talk about in the rest of the course. So the first one is just basically like helping you understand this problem. It's like, what is histamine? What is a master cell? Like you hear like, oh, I've got mast cell activation syndrome. Like, do you actually know what a master cell is? Do you actually know what histamine is? Not many people do. And understanding what these things are essential for you to actually be able to fix them. Like if you don't intricately and with detail understand the problem, you can't solve it. But once you really understand the problem, you can just apply logic to it, and it's like, okay, well, it's a fixable problem, let's fix it, and then we can start fixing it. So, like, the second class is about, like, symptom relief, like, how do we actually get these symptoms to go away really, really quickly? And it's really possible. Some people, it's not, because the amount of histamine being produced, like, in their own gut, we can't get on top of it straight away. But 90% of people, myself included, it's like, make like 5 changes, and all of a sudden, all of your histamine symptoms are gone. Sure, if you mess up, you miss on the diet, you accidentally have a high histamine food, you might have a flare-up. But get into a place where your histamine levels are low. First of all, it's essential for you to get on top of this thing in the first place, because in the later episodes we talk about why histamine intolerance develops into mast cell activation syndrome and why it is important to get our histamine levels low enough, because it becomes a chemical stress, and this is what stimulates the body into mast cell activation syndrome. Would you be able to give that another rinse for me, please? Mm-hmm. Thank you. So what I'm trying to do is help you see it's a solvable problem, and the first class is all about getting you to understand it. And once you can understand that it's a solvable problem, like obviously I'm a businessman as well. Like, I do this for my job. I want you to buy the course because it gives me money, so I can afford to do this and help you guys out, making more courses and stuff. Like literally everything we make goes into building new courses, doesn't it? It's like we hire more professionals, we put our resources, like this camera that we're using, this is because of the Health Potion Academy. Like we couldn't do it without my coaching. So I want you to buy this course because it helps me, but more than that, it helps you. These plates are designed to keep the vegetables submerged. We need to keep it under the water. You can put them in, it'll be better, you're more delicate than I am. Yeah, great. So I really I want to give the first class away. Firstly, because it's like, you'll understand it's a solvable problem. And it's like, wow, it's a solvable problem, let's fix it. And you'll see, like, I've just showed you how it's a solvable problem, so you're obviously going to think, oh, I'm the person that can help you fix it. And I really can. And that's why I'm giving it away, because I'm trying to build your trust. I'm trying to help you see, yeah, this is a solvable problem, let's fix it. Like, let's stop suffering forever, we can get on top of this. Here you go, you can do this as well.
I know what to do.
So what you need to do is, yeah, you can put that in there. You need to fill okay, look, before we put it in there, you see there's 2, so this is important for everybody as well. Inside this, let me look at the camera. I'm going to point this up to the camera so you can see. There's 2 there's like a cylinder inside a cylinder. And what we need to do is fill this exterior cylinder on the outside. So what you need to do is fill it so that it's about halfway, but don't put any in the middle, otherwise it'll come out the bottom. So just don't do it. Just on the outside. About halfway. Yep, perfect. So as you can see now, it's half full. Well, it's a little bit over half full, but that's fine. And then what we do is we get this, which is an airlock. So we just get this and we drop this in here. And now it's created an airlock. So the air can come out and it will bubble out, but air cannot get back in because the water, the water pressure is stopping the air from being able to go back in. So now we stick this in here, and you'll see, as I push down, it's squeezing air out. And look what happens to this as I push down. It raises up until it reaches a certain point, and then an air bubble comes out and it goes back down. And this is what's going to be happening every time this is burping. It's going to be pushing air out. And this creates the anaerobic environment. And this is just a little cap. You don't put this on firmly, you just rest it on the top. And this is just to stop stuff from falling in the top, because like flies might fall into it or things like that, because they're going to smell this fermentation going on and think, oh, there's something rotting over here, or there's something fermenting, let's go and eat it. So you put that over the top so stuff doesn't fall in. Okay, great. So, more on the course. The final episodes are, so the final classes are, how do we actually resolve this long term? This is pretty good. How do we resolve it long term? It's all about healing the gut. It's all about restoring DAO to the digestive system. If you don't know what DAO is, I'm going to suggest go and check out this course. The first class is free, and I tell you exactly what DAO is. I tell you exactly what HNMT is. So these are the primary and secondary pathways that we can break down histamine. So if you're having problems with it, supporting those pathways, your best bet. Initially, DAO is damaged, your gut's damaged. So we can't support that, but we can support HNMT, and this is how we can get immediate symptom relief. So go and check that out. I'm sure you're going to find it really helpful. I really hope you found this informative. So you should be able to see this. If I move it to here, let me just move it here. Let me just move it over here. So you should be able to see it in its entirety. Looks pretty. It looks quite pretty, I think. I always think fermented foods look quite pretty. So what we'll do now is we'll put an alarm in the calendar for 21 days. And as soon as it reaches 21 days, what I'm planning to do is, I don't do well with fibre myself. So I'm only going to drink the liquid out of this. So I'm going to strain it through a cheesecloth. I'll get Joanna to strain it through a cheesecloth because she's better. She's better at it than me. And I'm just going to drink the juice. And when you do this, what you're doing is you're re-inoculating your gut with, first of all, organisms that break down histamine. Because remember, it's not that there's no histamine in here, it's that it's way less. And we've had this cycle going on. So the histamine levels went up and then they came down. How did they come down? It's because there were organisms that were present that were breaking the histamine down. So it goes up and down, up and down, up, and then it goes down its lowest at 21 days. So why has it gone down to its lowest point? It's because it's got the highest presence of histamine reducing and recycling bacteria. So we eat this, we put those bacteria back in your gut, which means you've now improved your ability to degrade histamine. The ones that are in there don't produce histamine, they eat it. So you're lowering your histamine levels in total. So even the trace amount of histamine that's in here, because there is going to be a little bit still, but there's also bacteria in here that break histamine down. So we're putting them back in your gut, which is how you get on top of this in the first place. And these organisms are going to help heal your gut lining and enable you to be able to restore your DAO production, which is the key. The key of getting on top of histamine intolerance is healing your gut lining and restoring DAO. The key for getting on top of mast cell activation syndrome, a little bit more complicated, you've got to calm the immune response down. But the first step in that is exactly the same. You have to heal that gut lining. And your gut lining the healing of it is orchestrated by these healthy microbes. So this is how you do it. It's your elixir. And it's also going to start putting organisms back in your gut that digest whatever you're fermenting. So carrots, for example. Say you've been working on introducing foods for a while and you're stuck. You want to introduce, say, onions or garlic. These are quite a hard ones to introduce. You can make a ferment exactly the way that we've just done it, even if you have histamine problems, with onions and garlic. And it's going to start giving you bacteria in the ferment that break down the prebiotic fibers that are in onions and garlic. And you're going to start recolonizing your gut with these organisms that you're missing because you're not digesting them properly, which means you're missing them. So by doing this with vegetables that you're currently sensitive to, you can start reintroducing those organisms back into your gut and start reintroducing those foods. But I go into that more in the course. So that's pretty much everything. Have we got any more questions?
No questions.
Anything from you?
No.
Any comment about the course? Do you think they should buy it? You don't even know what histamine intolerance is like, but do you think I know what I'm talking about?
Yes, you definitely know what you're talking about. And
You've seen me have histamine intolerance flares, haven't you? You've seen what it's like when I have. Actually, I don't think you have. I've been so long without one now.
I don't think so.
No, I haven't had a histamine issue since I've even moved to Portugal, which is fantastic. Can't complain because for me, histamine intolerance was stabbing pains in my eyes, absolutely horrible insomnia, and this sensation, like, it's not like, I would say it's suicidal depression, but it's more than that. It's not like I feel like I have to kill myself. It's like I immediately feel like I have to be dead. It's like such an overwhelming feeling. It's like I have to kill myself immediately. It's like I'm not okay right now. And it's literally, histamine is a neurochemical, so it plays with your neurochemistry significantly. It can affect your mood to a massive degree. I haven't had that kind of feeling for maybe over a year now, which is priceless, really. So if you want to, I mean, you know how to do this now. I'm probably gonna throw this into the academy as well. The academy is full of like so much other stuff. Like I said, it's got all the other courses, the 5 pillars course. It's got how to build a healthy diet around food sensitivities, like a specific diet for you that's going to help you heal. And now it's got this as well. So if you're in the academy already, if you're tuning in and you're already in the academy, this whole course that I've been talking about, you already have it. Just log into your portal, it's there. And for everybody else, check out the check out the course. What I'll do is after this live, I'll leave a link in the comments. So if you want to have a look at this, you can. If you're on my mailing list, it's already in your emails, and that's the fastest way to access it. So open your emails up, take a look, and enjoy the first class. Like this, even if you decide not to, I really hope you do, because it's a solvable problem and it's going to show you how to fix it. But even if you don't, there's more information in that one class that's free than you're going to find on the whole rest of the internet. It's my past 5 years of research condensed into like telling you everything that you need to know about histamine intolerance and mast cell activation syndrome. So check it out. Okay,
you have a question. Can Malty watch this later? Will you leave this?
Yeah, you can watch this later. I'm going to leave this up. It works great for me because, like, to be honest, this is kind of like an advert. I'm telling you, go and buy something. So I think it's funny when I'm like honest about it. It's like, yeah, this is kind of an advert, but I really can't help you. So go and check it out. I'm going to leave this up. If you have any questions about the course or anything, you can, like, my inbox is always open. You can always add me as a friend. Doesn't matter if you're seeing this in a group or anything. Add me. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to help you. And seriously, check it out. Like I said, the first course is free. There's no reason not to check it out. And if you even suspect you have any of these problems, like, if you've watched this, you know I know what I'm talking about. Just go and have a look at it. You will not regret it. So that's everything from me and Joanna. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. You like it?
I don't like.
You don't like? It makes you a bit uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm an introvert, so I like to be out.
Yeah, but I have to push you out of the shell, so. And I think it's quite ironic that we always get Joanna on when we do a cooking video, so I'll have to get you on when we're doing something other than cooking as well. But I hope you've all enjoyed this, and remember, check the course out. You will not regret it. I'll see you soon, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.